Hello, hello, everyone out there. I am live because I'm very disturbed about this whole Empire Jesse. The whole hate crime thing is just outrageous, and we know Trump's not going to come forward and denounce any of it because he hasn't done anything for our community. And we are just going to let people know that we're not going to stand by and be targets. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And it's ridiculous, excuse me, it's ridiculous that we have to do this at all, have these live shows just to let people know that if you mess with us, we're going to mess with you. We're going to protect our families. It's ridiculous that, in America, which is supposed to be the melting pot and a safe haven for all people, that we have to go through this. And then for the Republican hate, and I'm not going to blame every Republican for this because there are good Republicans in there, just like there are good and bad Democrats. But the hate that we're spewing just because of a person who they love is disgraceful at the very least, and it's just disgusting. So, this is not acceptable at all. Not acceptable. I'm not sure why anyone would sit up and allow anything like this to happen. Chicago, I know, is a lot more diverse and a lot more tolerant of the community. And I'm so shocked that it happened there, of all places, which means, people are going to have to be more alert and aware and protect their families even higher. I want gun control as much as the next person, but I also want the fact of our community to be safe and feel safe. So, if that means taking karate, if that means taking martial arts, if that means, unfortunately protecting yourself with getting licensed to be concealed, it to carry, because, everyone else has done that. I think we're just the last group who have tried to be so cautious about that. But we love our children and families just like everyone else loves their children and families. So I'm not sure why anyone would do anything to hurt a person at all. I am not sure why. And it's very disgraceful. And secondly, it's hurtful. I mean, to beat him like they did is disgraceful. But I'm here to tell you guys, whoever that did that, people aren't just going to lay down and take that crap. You come for us, we're going to come for you. You leave us alone, we leave you alone. But that is a hate crime. And I know Trump is not going to stand up and say anything because he hasn't said anything about all the hate crime that's going up. Hate crime is on the rise since Trump took office. His comments on hanging gays and different things like that, whether it's a joke or not, is disgraceful. And he should have came out and denounced everything that was said. And whether Penn said it or not, he said that Penn said it. Okay, you're supposed to be such a Christian, a evangelical Christian. Why would you even say something like that? Regardless to whether you agree or don't agree, you still don't want violence against a group of people. And as a president, you're supposed to represent all Americans, not just the ones that look like yourself. So, and our community is pretty big. So we're not going anywhere. And I think the fact of now this our focus being on trans hate, meaning trans not being allowed in the military, trans not being validated, has really sparked another uprising against the community. And who cares who you are? If you're going to fight for our country, why do you care? It doesn't matter who you are. When you're in a hole and you're trying to fight against the person that's trying to hurt American troops, you don't care if the person is gay or who they're sleeping with. You care that they're able to do the same job as you to get you out of that situation. That's all you care about. You don't ask them, hey, if you're gay, don't help me No, that's not how it works in the military. And I haven't heard anything negative from veterans speaking against LGBTQ or transgender community at all. Not one negative. But the trick is that you guys are now just opening the door for the government to come in and say what they deem necessary for medical. And that's what they're doing. They just really opened up the door for medical exclusion now, because now you're saying, okay, what should we pay for? We already know Viagra is one of the biggest expenses in the military. Are you going to cut that too? People should be able to have what they want in the military. And you should also give them a choice. Stopping people from joining just because they're trans is ridiculous. We have Navy SEALs that are trans. We have every branch there are transgender. We have 14 million that are accounted for American transgenders. How many more we don't even account for do we have? It's disgraceful and it's shameful. And in all communities, you have to learn how to be tolerant. And I watched a show this morning when we were up, and the pastor was saying tolerance means that you're accepting that you should be gay. And that's so far from it. That just means tolerance. You really shouldn't have to educate anybody. It just means respect people. We can respect what you are. We don't have to become hatred. We don't have to become white or straight. We can respect who you are. You should respect who we are. And something else, the new generation is not so stuffed shirt with this. They don't care. This isn't a big deal to them. So whether you're going to change or not, the world will change. And to go backwards for any reason is just disgraceful. I mean, why would you want to legalize discrimination? We've had that before and it didn't work. So why would you want to do that now? I mean, that's all this is, legalized discrimination. And you can use religion for that. You can use hate for that. You can use color. You can use gender. It's all still legalized discrimination, and it will backfire. So while people are happy that trans are not going to be in the military or this, that, and the third, which is just a small victory for him. He hasn't won that war. This is just a small victory. There's so many cases that still have to go through the Supreme Court that you really shouldn't get too excited, because this is just a small victory for Trump and his administration. Please, though, if just like Eminem said, if you don't come for us, we don't come for you. It's nobody's business who you sleep with. Judge people on what type of person they are, not based upon who they sleep with. And I just want to say, I'm going to protect my family regardless. And that goes for all of my family, whether I'm close to them or not. And, I have chosen family by choice, whether they're blood or not. And that means our community is large. And we don't need another Stonewall. But I'll tell you what, no one's going in the closet in America, and we shouldn't have to. That's long gone and over with. The acceptance of marriage has already been recognized. So for all those people trying to take us backwards, we're not going backwards. We're not. We're not going in a closet. We're not going to hide. And again, LGBTQ community is going to protect themselves. So this you got away with, but I'm going to tell you the next time you won't get away with it, because someone's going to wind up hurting you back. You guys are disgraceful, shameful, and you shouldn't even be Americans. In fact, you should go to your own country where you won't have any gay people. And guess what? We don't make gay people, okay? Straight people birth gay children. So quit trying to put blame on us for your hatred, okay? If you really, really don't like and you just don't want to see any, go find a country where there's no LGBTQ. And if they are, they're totally against it. Go find another country, because this country is made up of all denominations, all races, and there one type of person that lives here. And Trump, a message for you and Pence. You all support, whether you like it or not, you have to put on your big boy underwears and you have to say, hey, we're going to support all Americans, not just the ones that look like us and believe like us. You have to support all Americans. This is the job you chose. You chose to be the president of the United States of America, which is large, which is every denomination, which is every melting pot of every nationality. You chose this as a job. And if you don't want that, you should step down and let somebody else who can put away their fears and their thoughts aside to run a country with everyone in it. I mean, that's just the way it is. If you can't do that, why don't you two resign? Give it to someone who has at least the ability to put things on the side. I'm sure there were other people in the White House who may have had prejudice, but they didn't show it. You guys are showing it. You're letting people know up front. It was a big mistake by having Bannon in the White House. One thing about Bannon, though, he was truthful. He didn't hide it. You guys, this is the most disgraceful presidency I think anyone has ever seen. You guys are such racists, and it's disgusting. It's even more disgusting that we have people that are backing you. And that's not just disgusting, it's wrong. And that is what people are so angry about in the communities. Like, okay, you want to cut civil rights budget. You took HIV/AIDS funding away from there to put towards something else. Jesse, I am so sorry that this happened to you. And believe you me, you have a big, huge family that supports you. And we're all disgraced by this. And please understand that we are all with you in prayer that you'll be okay. And we know that hate crime really does more than just the physical damage, it's the emotional damage. But know that your family's with you. And we are all one big family and we're huge. And we're going to support you. And we pray that they get all of these guys who did this to you. And for them that are hiding out there being bullies, they think they're getting away with it. You won't get away with it next time. I guarantee you. Somebody's going to wind up hurting you back. Because you're not going to just keep terrorizing people just because who they love. With that, I'm going to end. And for all the transgenders that feel like they need to be valid, and they are valid, and Trump's trying to take that validation away from you, know that we are supporting you. You know, our community is huge and we will stand together and we will fight all this hate, all of it, because this is America and we are legally allowed to get married, which gives us legal rights. And no one should have their rights taken just because of who they love at all. And by the way, that Republican baseball game, really, it was an LGBTQ person who actually stopped the Republicans from being killed. So I want to say that, and I'm going to leave this to say, you all really need to rethink some of your priorities because you're supposed to leave religion and country separate according to the Constitution, which we see now that that's very hard for this administration to do. But really, if you can't do that, just resign. Let someone else who can in there because you are not representing all of us. You won't even say the words LGBTQ on TV. You're not denouncing any of the hate. We've had a serial killer for our community. You're not speaking about any of this. Instead, we're left to speak about this ourselves, and it's a disgrace. And with that, I'm going to end. But know this, to all the people out there who are doing hate crimes, we are protecting our families, and we're going to continue to protect our families. LGBTQ members, protect your families by any means necessary. We're not looking to fight, but if someone's going to come up to you and try and beat you or do something hateful just because you're out with your family, just being a normal citizen, you have every right to protect yourself. So I would say, we have whistles, we have all kinds of things, but,